Hello, welcome to the Ultimate OP09 Belo deck breakdown. I am the Madison, Wisconsin regional top 16 Belo finisher. I've been asked many times to go over this deck and the play lines for it. Um, and earlier today, the list was put out there by TCG Matchmaking and then again by Eggman Events. So the list is out there. Uh, there was one small change. I was running 4 stage and 2 Sabo. I have changed that to 3 stage and 3 Sabo. So that's the only difference between the lists. I'm going to go through the cards now to explain why they're here, and then I'm going to go through ranked games. The ranked games are around rank 25, so at like 5 billion berries, roughly. So they're pretty high ELO. Uh, I'll show you the first 3 games I play. I won't sugarcoat it, just so that I can be as genuine and as honest as possible about the deck's performance, because obviously I'm not going to win every game. All right, so let's go over the deck. We have Inazuma, 3 cost, 4K rusher, so it can go to 7,000 power with your leader ability. If another character you control has 7,000 power, this character gains rush. This works for itself, meaning a second Inazuma. So if you have both in your hand and you play them both out, you can give them 7,000. You can make them 7,000 power. They both give each other rush. Ivankov, 4 cost, 5K, 1,000 counter. Activate main once per turn. If this character has 7,000 power, which you can get with the leader ability very easily, you can cheat out a Revolutionary Army type character not named Imperial Ivankov, which is basically everything in the deck, save for this Ivankov, this Dragon, Koala, and Sabo, as well as Stage. Everything is worth pitching out or playing out for one reason or another. Mostly you'll be trying to play out your Karasus, your Lindberghs, or Karasu would probably be your third best option, followed by Morley. Great engine for the deck. You want to cheat out as many bodies as possible because you're going for game very quickly with this deck. Karasu, another great card on play if your leader's Revolutionary Army type, which ours is. You give minus 1,000 power to a opponent's leader or character. Most of the time this will be for leader. However, there are niche situations where you'll want to go for character, like if you want to apply pressure to their board or apply pressure to their hand and you know they're going to protect their character. It's a great way to do it. Koala. 4 of the 8 2Ks that we run are Koala. She is a character that minus 3,000 power on play, so you don't have to get rid of her like you do Raise Max, which is minus 3,000 power when you bottom deck it. She stays on board. She can become a 6,000 power attacker. If you have no 1 or 2 drops other than her, you still play her out on your 2 down turn because you want to have a character or a body on board. It's just that simple. Kuma, you can KO searchers early on. You can establish a body, just a trigger off life. Fantastic card. Goes to 5,000 power with leader ability. Common theme, nothing in this deck has less than 2,000 power. And as it shouldn't, because once you use leader ability, it's a swinger. There's the 1 cost Belo Searcher, which allows you to grab every other card in the deck except for this one right here. Fantastic. Starting with Belo in your hand ups your odds of winning by like 10%, maybe even more. She is, I'm not going to call her the best card in the deck, but she's so vital to winning that she might be. Morley, trigger body, unblockable, can get through a lot of the less common decks than you have to deal with. BY Luffy, which really isn't in the meta right now. Dofi, if they have a bunch of Boa, it can be useful, but if they have a bunch of Boa, you're probably having a bad time anyway. Lindbergh, if this character has 7,000 or more power, you can KO 1 of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less on attack. This is the card that will let you win the Dofi matchup. It's that simple. If you can establish this and keep it healthy, keep it alive, you're able to combo with Koalas and Raise Maxes. You can clear their board, you can alleviate the pressure. It's your best bet at winning. 5-cost Imperial Ivankov. On play, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Play a 5,000 power or less character with Revolutionary Army type, which is most of the cards in this deck. Everything we've gone over so far, as well as Raisemax, and Karasu, and Kuma. She floods board. Absolutely wonderful. Raisemax, I kind of went over this with Koala, but it's at 1 cost. It's a 2,000 power body. Can subtract power from something else. Pseudo blocker, because if you leave it sideways, they will get rid of it, I promise. Then we have Monkey D. Dragon. Monkey D. Dragon is the boss monster of this deck, one of 2 technically, but the much better boss monster because it buffs your leader, which is the only thing in this deck that does that. It can buff your leader. Almost always you're going to use it to buff your leader because you can buff your characters with other stuff. He can be buffed by leader ability. He's a 12k swinger. If you do that, he gives out 2 Dawn. So realistically, he can be a 6-cost character if you think of value for a 12k rush. It's fantastic. Sometimes a trap card because if you have a wide board, might be better to just don up your stuff and swing, but he's still really good. Karasu, one of the best additions from OP09, although literally all 4 of the cards from OP09 that are in this deck are fantastic, and each one is making the deck better in its own unique way. However, this one will steal games for you. It is kind of like this deck's closest representation of beige. It doesn't stop an attack outright, but it is a blocker that you can get off of your last life. And hypothetically speaking, if this is your last life, then you're always going to be at 5 life or less combined between you and your opponent, unless, some crazy Vegapunk stuff happens or something. You probably already lost anyway then. But he triggers off life. He can become a 7,000 power attacker. He's got 1k counter. This is one of the newer cards. Absolutely fantastic. You often attack with him. He doesn't. If you're playing him out because he's a body, he is a body. A lot of these things in this deck we're still attacking with because we don't need to block most of the time. But it is nice to have the option to have a blocker. Koala is a blocker. On play, you may add this top or bottom of your life to your hand. Argument for which one you should do. Most people do top. It's random no matter what you do. I've pulled top and it's lost me the game. I've pulled bottom, it's lost me the game, and vice versa for that has been true as well. If you do pull a life card from your hand, or from your life to your hand, you can play out 1 4-cost or less Rev Army card. Then you draw a card. As far as I understand it, that is not a contingent ability. If you take the life, you get to draw a card whether you play out a character or not. So she can be on play, draw 2, 1 being from your life, which prevents the starve strategy for decks like Enel who want to abuse Gadatsu against us. Absolutely fantastic card. Swarms board, don't want to run more than 2 because she is searchable with both Betty and Stage. So you can find her. You're never gonna. I've played 2 in a game. I would never play 3 in a game. 7-cost Sabo is the other boss monster of the deck. Technically, is a 7-cost, 7k power, 1k counter. On play, place up to 1 of your Revolutionary Army type cards from your hand on top of your life face up. Then if you have 2 or more life, put the top or bottom card of your life into your hand. So technically he can heal you. In an ideal world, you'll be down to 0. Then you heal up with Karasu, giving you 2 additional health with 1 card. I've played a bunch of games with Betty that's happened like maybe twice. It's not a reliable on play to utilize. However, it is another card that prevents starve because you do not have to add a revolutionary type card. It's up to 1. So if you add nothing with this on play, you can still take a life, which is really good against starve strategies. Again, because you're taking your own life, you're getting more resources, and you're preventing them from stopping you from being able to interact with the game, like I said, with Enel and Gadatsu. Last new card from OP09 is the new Bartholomew Kuma, which is a 2000 counter for cost 5000 power with a trigger that can play this card if you have 5 life combined between you and your opponents. And it's just, you know, it's a 2K Rev Army that has a trigger. Usually feels like it's your first life, so it almost never comes off trigger. If it's your last life, you know, maybe you want to play it because they're not going for lethal, but it's a 2K, so a lot of times you get it in your hand in your last life and you don't play it because it is a 2K. One more thing I do want to go over with Sabo is his trigger is just draw 2 cards. His trigger is draw 2 cards. That's why he's at 3 in this deck right now and not 2. I was running him at 2 previously. Last card in the deck is 3 stage. Stage helps you filter out your hand against matchups like Lucci or Bonnie. It allows you to find Koala and 5 cost Inazuma, or 5 cost Ivankov, so you can cheat out bodies very consistently. Let's load up some games. Okay, so we've got a match. This is a favored matchup, so it'll hopefully be a good first show. I'm going to start with playing out the stage and pitching the blocker because he's not really necessary in this matchup. Out of these things, I already have 2 of them. This is going to help me the most. And then I'm going to play out the Raise Max. He absolutely... You want to play out something turn 1. I was hoping to get a Betty with the 1 cost stage, but I already had the Raise Max in hand, so it felt like a pretty good turn to me. I'm going to take this when he swings, if he swings. He didn't. I'm going to try and find 4 cost Ivankov. I didn't, but that's fine because I did find Lindbergh, which it will allow me to have a really powerful next couple turns, passively KOing his Zorojo right here. The Sanji's been a real problem. If I want, so I need to counter out of this because now it'll absorb a 6K for me, and I only take 1 damage this turn. If he doesn't attack, so I do need 4 cost Ivankov here, and I don't get it. Great. This is fine because now I can here. We'll find another Ivankov. He can take this. He can make this game take as long as he wants. I do not care. Spooky board. You should... Oh, he didn't. I could have played out both there, but it would have required me to toss this dragon. I don't really want to do that. But what I can do now, since he has no blockers out, and I don't think I'm in any danger of losing next turn, he'll most... I will do this, though. You know what? I'm not in any danger of losing next turn. He's going to clear my board. And then we'll go 6 because he is playing the long game. Yeah, he can't go for game. There's too many variables. Now what I do, unless he plays Big Mom, which he very well could, which would suck, Big Mom would be the worst thing right here. Yes, use trigger. Pitch you. Oh, no Big Mom. Oh, I'm in a great position. So I use leader ability to get all of them. He only has one Don open. Yep, beautiful, beautiful. So pitch you to give you. Play you out here, and then deploy 1, 2, and we attack like this, going down to 3K. So they block most likely. Yeah, and then I go again here. Explaining things while I'm playing is new to me, so I definitely didn't do that incredibly well. Uh, yeah, I don't disagree. I think that's why they didn't do more. I think 899 is the right call. That's got to be rough. GG. All right, so that was game one, and a pretty decent showcase, but also, you know, favored matchup. Second game, we're loading in. Oh, good. I get to show this matchup off. I have a lot of confidence in this matchup. Let's see if that freaking shows through here. I feel good about it. So the big thing with this is Brook. If they get Brook on 3 Don, the game is a lot harder. Let's see what I can do. I want 4 cost. I'll take it. All right. Ideally there I would have found 4 cost of Vonkov because I would have preferred to play out. Oh, good. This shows me he's either going to, this means nothing. He's either going to swing 5 here, or I think if I take it, he probably plays out Brook. I need to take it though. He didn't. I'm still going to take this. No trigger. Okay. No 4 cost. The thing to play right now is this. And then I do have a 2K, so I can counter out of stuff. This Koala, because I took 2 early, is pretty dangerous to play. If I draw 4 cost of Vonkov, it's still worth it because he's clearing this here. Yeah, most likely what he's going to do is he's probably going to drop 5 cost the KO 3. What's his name? Kaku. He's probably going to play Kaku. Oh, he didn't play Kaku. Okay, this means he's playing Lucci. Brook. I just stopped running my mouth. Deploy. I'll snag a 2K because I need it, and then the turn orders for Belo Betty can be weird. Naturally, you want to swing with your stuff first, so that way you can maximize like confusion from your opponent. Me attacking there, he knew the last thing, and only thing I was doing was swinging 5 with Betty. But to maximize my value for the turn, if I played this out and got a 4 cost of Vonkov, or say Karasu, which was unlikely because I already had 2 in hand, then at that point I could have swung more efficiently with my leader. That didn't happen. I need this for later. I'm going to get rid of my rusher. Not really important in this matchup right now. This, he's going to play Jack, which is super good. I like that he's playing Jack. That's not a problem. Belo Betty can uniquely take care of a card like that. I really hope I draw stage or something. I swear to God, I'm saying this live. I'm not playing this. I'll grab another Betty. Yeah. Deploy. So, now the situation I'm in, I get to do this. I get to deploy here. And I get to do this here. Now, I can pitch. I need my 2K. This blocker maybe will be necessary, maybe won't. But I can attack here, pop this, and now I get to swing 5/5 at his face. It would have cost him 2 cards from hand. Most likely, him pitching Helmeppo means that he has a Moria in hand. That doesn't. That doesn't mean that. Also, not finding 4 cost of Onkov this entire match is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, so there goes 9 Don. Moria makes a lot of sense. If he swings, okay, he gets it. And just looking at his trash, he has, it looks like no Rebecca's in trash. But he can Lucci, so he can KO this and this, leaving me with 2 characters. Resolve. Oh, I need to get rid of the trash. Resolve. Let's see. Yeah, Lucci, that makes sense. And then Suru, or Helmeppo, yeah. Do. So now I am in a situation where I need, let's see, 4. I think most likely one of these is a KO trigger. He runs Ice Age, which would KO 3 cost or less, which would be all my characters, so any one of these would ruin the game for me. He has not really countered out of anything. I could go for game here, as I don't think I survive another turn. I could play this, maybe get a blocker. I can pitch, but what I would want to pitch is probably, well, there is no, okay, well, that's nothing. That's just, thank God I didn't play this. That would have lost me the game outright. So I would need to play this. I mean, they can be pretty bricked up. They can be. What would my best scenario here be? I play this. I get a blocker. That's gambling. That's gambling. I play this. I pitch this, and I go 1, 2, 3. So now 1, 2, 7, 7. I mean, start with 7. Then we go 1, 2, 3. Nope, we get another 7. because we have to. And then if they can counter out, just GG. And then at this point, I'm going 8-8. Most likely they take it, and then this either means they're incredibly bricked up or they have it and they're just messing. It looks like they're just messing. 1, 2, 3, and then they win and turn. GG. Lucci matchup still isn't, guaranteed. Going for it. No trigger. Let's see. If this is Karasu, then I'm in a great spot. What's the odds it's Karasu? It's not. Hey, I was looking for you all game. Look at that. So now we've got 14, and I can get to 9, 10, 11, 12. And GG. 1 win, 1 loss. Totally fair. Gonna queue up again for the next game. Ooh, Blackbeard. I'm keeping this. This matchup depends a lot on how many events they get, how many dock queues they get, how often they use their leader ability. I've had Blackbeards use it on me every turn. I've had Blackbeards use it on me once. Belo is my favorite deck. Let's see. This is kind of the all-star in this deck. That's rough. That's not an issue. So I can pitch this. I'm definitely not playing that. So I can play out of these two. There's no reason not just play this out. It's not a good hand. I wish I had stage. That's rough. I hope he doesn't leader ability. He'll go there. Yep. And he has 6 cards in hand. He most likely will. This is the power move to do it. This is the power turn to do it. Yep. Go down to 4. Leader ability. If you don't leader ability, that's rough for you. Oh boy. Deploy. Deploy. That was exactly what I wanted. He did that one turn too late, and I will be saving that. I don't need the Sabo in this matchup. I do need this Belo. This will be a good play. Dot Q, KO this. This is his best bet. I will have to spend a turn just kind of to cleaning up his board, but he's only going to 9 Don. Yeah, that makes sense that he killed that. I want the... The Karasu will do better for me, and it allows me to keep a card in hand. Go 7 here. 5 here. 5 here. Replenish his stupid hand. And then we'll swing 8 at his face. And now, if he wants, he can... Oh, frick. Well, that happens sometimes. Hopefully he does not black hole me again. He did get a whole replenishment of cards, but... Ooh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? 6? Easy. Okay. Super, super good top deck. Between these two, I'm going to prioritize getting out the Lindbergh. On the Otten, never mind. My thought process on that was if he plays out his hand and doesn't just 10 drop, then I can most likely get rid of the Vasco shot that he plays with this. But if he plays, oh, he just 10 dropped. GG, man. Yeah, we're going to go... I need to make this even across the board. So this is 16, this is 5. So that's 21, 31. So I can go 10, 10, 11. So 10. And then we go... If you join the Betty Discord... Oh, whoops.